Hey, that's Cerro Gordo Mountain, the backside of Cerro Gordo Mountain, and we're at the top area of where the Doolittles slept. And their homestead was the whole 600 and some odd acres, but their home was here, and this is part of their old road. And the well, it's all covered over by blackberries, but it was right down there. And here is one of the few Doolittle fruit trees in the lower part of the property. They had a small orchard down below their homestead, and you can see that on the old aerial photographs. They planted the trees in a little square, and there's some blossoms over there, and there's another tree up in there that still have blossoms, and this one right here. You know, from a distance it doesn't look that old, and then you get up to it and see how it is aged and how. And the graveyard is about 100 yards that way. What do you think, Fred? 100 yards or more?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, this wasn't nearly as much of a shade hazard back when they planted it.
Nope, nope. There's another one down there, another old, some more blossoms. And this is the creek on the west side of the area where they used to live. And we're looking for a trail out of here, actually.
Look at all these branches all sweeping away from the shade of that big tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doing everything it can.
Oh, we hit the jackpot. Looks like pieces of old Doolittle stove or something. Yeah. Put them up here where they won't sink down so much and be a little more visible to people when they come through. Yeah, pretty neat. And here we are, kind of at the top end of where the Doolittle houses were, and there's a few old fruit trees still left down here. And this road here, this path they built, and Cerro Gordo built Elk Way back in the late 1980s. And today we did find the old Doolittle graveyard. About 7 graves here, and we'll go down and look at each one of them. And here is the old tree. I was been looking for a tree that still had its top. This was a huge tree last time I was able to hike here, which was about 10 or 15 years ago. But that top is out of there now, died off or broken off. And this grave here is John Quintus Doolittle. He was just a kid. He was only 3 years old. And Charles Elmer Doolittle, he was just 14. We've got his picture at the school. I think a couple of pictures of him at the Doolittle school. Oh, and Milton Bales, yeah. 1901 to 1905. Just 4. Got this old barbed wire fence around it. And Lewis Clark Doolittle, he looks like he was just 9, 1904 to 1913. And here's Lucky's grave. Lucky Doolittle, from a Civil War veteran, and 8th Michigan Infantry. Is that what that says? Yeah, the American Legion used to put a flag on a fence way down below, and one of us would bring it up here and put it on his grave, you know, for Memorial Day. And here's Carolyn Doolittle's grave, 1840 to 1922. Yeah. And there's me and Max and my friend Fred Ure. Been hiking looking for this for, this is our 4th trip up here. It's about a good 2 miles of mostly uphill walking to get here.
Covered almost every square inch before we found it.
Right. I think we've been around here. This is incredibly hard to find. And down here it opens, kind of opens up to what used to be their orchard, and seeing through there, oh, you can, I don't know, kind of see Doolittle Lake way off in the distance. And there's the backside of Cerro Gordo mountain that you can just barely see. And there's down below us there, that almost open piece, not quite, is the old Doolittle homestead, and that's where I think their house and living area was, the well down here. And the lumber mill and the school were on the west side of their property. But yeah, and this is the east side right here. There used to be an orchard below us, but that's been overgrown years ago, years before the 70s. But yeah, finally after 4 attempts, we haven't been able to walk up here for about 15 years because I've had about 7 back and leg surgeries in the last 15 years, so it's really neat to be able to get up here and photograph these old graves. And there's one of the old fence posts right there. Yeah, this would be where their caskets were lying.